Catching up with Ford, Reese, Johnson, and Reese. Just wanted to kind of get your thoughts as we approach the final, unfortunately, 10 games already of the season and how your season has been going. I was going over your numbers earlier this morning, and you had a big goal to open up the game scoring for your IceHogs the other night against Chicago, and now rolling on into the weekend and the 4-game road trip. You have 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points of your last 8 games. It feels like you're starting to find a bit of a groove with this club after consistent play, consistent practices. How are you feeling now, knowing that you got the final 10 games and change to try and make an impact and continue making those strides forward?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the season's been obviously a little different this year considering everything, but I think it's been good. I've been happy and just looking to improve every day and kind of push myself each day to get better. So yeah, it's been good, and hopefully the guys can look for a win tomorrow and just keep moving forward in these next 10 games here.
Do you feel like with the consistent play, your consistent schedule of whether it's, being with the IceHogs or going with the taxi squad, just having you in one place and one mindset has helped you out just because of that repetition and being able to take strides one day at a time, if you will?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously it's nice playing games. I think that's the biggest thing for development, and we've talked about that lots with everyone. So it's been good that way, and just kind of getting in the groove of things. I mean, practicing with the team, having some good practices before the games. I think it all helps a lot for sure.
Coach, and Mackenzie Emerson mentioned about diving into a playoff-like mentality, but with the season being what it is and only 10 games left, how do you tap into a playoff mindset? Do you try and maybe filter from some of your teammates and coworkers, the Blackhawks, or is that something that comes from within you to have that drive going into these final games?
Yeah, I think ultimately it comes within yourself. I mean, everyone has to kind of find that mode and playoff mode within their self and dig deep and really take what you've learned over the course of the season and really take into consideration those things into each game, and every game counts, and play every game like you're fighting for playoffs. So for sure.
Well, the IceHogs have seemed to find some success here as of late, a more consistent effort as of late too. What has been the biggest change that you've seen in that locker room that's allowed for the IceHogs to be competitive and dive into that mentality and see results on the ice as a part of it?
I think we've really came together as a team, everyone kind of doing their job, and just I think it come down to work ethic and everyone working each shift, taking it one shift at a time, doing everything, all the little things right, winning 50-50 battles, finishing checks. I mean, when we're doing those things, that leads to other things like scoring goals and offense, but really starts with the small things, the little details that you focus on in practice and hopefully take into the games.
It feels like this season you get even more practice time than maybe you would in a normal year, more development time with the development coaching staff as well. How beneficial has that been for you I see you guys on the ice. It's almost like 2-a-days at times. You go out there for a development hour and then you go out there for a practice hour. Has that been helping you this year? And how have you approached practices like that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think for myself this year, going into practice, I have things to focus on, and I want to get better each day. And I know with all the staff and people we have working with us, it's great. I mean, we're really fortunate to have all these great people working for us and pushing us to get better. So it's been really good that way.
It is your second season in the organization, and you want to, you mentioned the little things. For you, what do you want to accomplish in these final 10 games? What little things do you want to see Reese Johnson get better at before the summer workouts and that training kicks back in?
I think I just want to keep going in all aspects. I mean, a big thing is just being confident with the puck, patience, making plays, but continuing to build on physical game, stops and starts. I mean, having a good stick, just little cues that I really focus on that I think will help me get to that next level. And yeah, so a lot of those things I think I just try and work on to get better each day. So
Scott Lever, your line is active, sir.
Hi, Reese. Coming into this season, there were so many unknowns, and nobody knew quite what to expect. From a personal developmental standpoint, do you feel like this has still been a productive season for you? Have you gotten out of this short season so far what you were hoping to get out of it personally?
Yeah, I think 100%. It's been good for my development this year. I mean, whether it's being on the taxi squad at the start of the year, or being down here playing games, I mean, getting games up there with the Hawks. It's been a lot this year, but it's been great. I've been happy with how it's went, and just looking to keep moving forward with that.
What is there a player that you on the NHL level, or maybe with the Blackhawks or somewhere, that you pay particularly close attention to, that you kind of want to pull things from, pattern yourself after a little bit? Is there a player or two like that who comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, probably the first guy that comes to mind is a guy like Andrew Shaw. I mean, I've got to know him here over the last bit pretty decently well, and he's an awesome guy, awesome role model to look up to. But just the way he plays his game, hardworking guy. That's how he got to the NHL. Just his work ethic and compete levels, I think, are incredible, and for sure, he's probably one of the top guys that I try to look up to there.
You've got 3 games in the next 4 days. Is that something you welcome right now? You're looking forward to that, or is that going to be a bit of a challenge?
I mean, I think just taking it a day by day and one game at a time. You never look too far past the next game. I think right now all we're focusing on is the game and getting a win tomorrow. So,
is it really hard to keep seeing the Chicago Wolves over and over and over again?
Yeah, I think this is actually my 6th game in a row against the Wolves, so it's feeling like a playoff series, but always good challenge.
All right, thank you.
Brandon, I unmuted you. Did you want to jump in before we let Reese go?
I'm okay.
All right. Well, with that said, Reese, we appreciate your time. Thank